I'm with Nathan Moulds here. How you doing, man?
Good, mate. Good to see you, bro.
Yourself?
Yeah, good.
You've had Stump this week?
Yes, we have.
What do you love about Stump? What do you love about taking people through this experience?
I love watching a group of young people who, from kind of all different walks of life, come together, stepping out of their comfort zones and just kind of seeing what God does as they step out into the streets, step out in the community. You know, they push the limits and they experience faith in action and experience what Jesus is doing through the vehicle of the Salvation Army in Sydney and in their city. So I love watching groups come together, not knowing each other, and kind of form beautiful friendships in the context of mission. So I love that.
Cool. If Jesus came to live on earth today, whereabouts do you reckon he would live?
Oh, where would he live? I think that you'd probably find him in the poorest postcodes in our nation. I think that he would identify with and come alongside and preach the gospel to the poorest of the poor, because that's what he said, quoting Isaiah and Luke, that, you know, my mission, I've come to preach good news to the poor. And whilst some may say it's the poor in spirit, you know, we're all poor in spirit, I really believe that there's a power and a character to the gospel that can only be experienced when you're actually with those who are in real poverty. And so that's where I think he'd be found if he was in our nation of Australia today.
What do you reckon holds young people back from stepping out in mission?
That's a good question. Three things. The first one being we're very time poor. We're not materially poor in the West. We have everything we need and so much more, that's a problem in itself. But I think young people nowadays just don't have time. There's too many other things to distract them, be that school, peer relationships, extracurricular activities, even youth ministry, church responsibilities. They're just time poor. And so I think not feeling like you have the ability to actually step out of your rhythm of life to do it is a big problem. I think the other problem is that young people have a bit of an ignorance, no offense guys, about the inner city and some of the things, and so there's a fear. There's like, oh, that's really scary, and that's born out of an ignorance, and that they think that people, like, it's dangerous and people are going to, they're going to get stabbed or killed, and that's just not the case at all. So I think there's an ignorance and that is born out of a lack of awareness. And so the other thing I would say is that I think that there's a sense of, and this is a really sad thing, as a young people, there's a sense of powerlessness, in a sense that I have nothing to offer. There's some young people who actually don't feel like they can step out into mission because they actually feel that they wouldn't have anything to give, and that's a real lie that the enemy would want to keep them trapped and keep them excluded from the mission field, actually feeling that they wouldn't have anything to offer, when actually Jesus in you has everything to offer. And so I think that's a big one that we've got to make sure we challenge young people. That is actually saying, you know, believing, teaching them self-belief that Jesus in them is enough, that they have something to give and to contribute. Yeah.
Cool, man. You probably just answered it with that last answer, but why should we give ourselves for the mission? Why give of our time? Why give of our money? Why?
Why not? But yeah, no, I think that I think, you know, when Jesus came and he said, you know, I've come, and we quote this one all the time, Jesus said, you know, I've come to bring life, and life in all its fullness. And part of that fullness of life is actually found in mission. That's actually, you know, it's like you have a pizza and you're only eating half of it, you know, if you're not in the mission field. You're actually missing out on some of the good stuff. And so I would say, why not get involved in the mission? Jesus has, you know, preached a gospel that was about engagement. It was about others. The Salvation Army was birthed in mission. And so, you know, why would you want to miss out of the party that is happening, you know, in our cities and you know, in our neighborhoods, where actually God is at work in people's lives. He's at work in communities, in particular areas of darkness and brokenness. And Jesus is just yelling, hey, dive in, you know, be light, be salt, all these things we talk about. That's why I say edify, walk the talk. Everything we talk about, let's just do it, you know. It was meant to be practiced, it was meant to be out in the streets, you know. It was meant to be lived. And so, you know, why wouldn't you do mission? You know, there's a joy that's found when you're actually serving others and when you're coming alongside those who are broken. It actually humbles you. It actually makes you so grateful for what Jesus has done in your life and what you have. And it brings a whole sphere of your faith to life that I just don't think can be activated outside of the mission field. So why wouldn't you do it?
It's been a pleasure hearing about what God's doing in your life and what, you know, why young people should be involved in mission. If you want to get involved in Stump, doing like a week-long Stump or an internship, this is the man.
It's the man. This is the website. On the man.
Go to the website On The Man, and you'll find out all that you need to know about Stump and Edify. Okay, look down the camera and tell everyone watching this video on Facebook or YouTube why they should come and do a Stump in 10 seconds. Why you should do a Stump. Tell us.
Do a Stump because it'll change your life and you'll change community and you'll meet Jesus in a way that you'd never imagined. Do it.